just a boy. Christmas brought so much joy. Couldn't wait for the presents and laughter. I couldn't sleep late at night, looking for Santa with lights. Those are the memories I still remember. Then I became a man, lost sight of who I am, but right in front of me was the answer. 'Cause on Christmas I feel joy, and I turn back to a boy. The answer is to stay young forever. This is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song.
Hello, Star Wars fans. You know, there's just 307 days until Christmas 2023. Oh, and we're here on Bad Batch Eve, but we've got a ton of other news that came out yesterday. Before we get there, though, real quick, I want to encourage you guys to go check out our Patreon. And for as little as $1 a month, you can support us there, and you can submit questions that we will address on this stream, or suggest topics that perhaps we'll talk about. And we have some bonus content out there. We've been going through the Darth Plagueis novel, and we're about 45% of the way through, and Plagueis is done. That's it. The rest of the book's about Palpatine. So just for anybody looking to get some extra content and to help the channel out, Patreon is a great way to do that. So I got our friends Jason Ward and Star Wars Meg with us today. Hello.
Hola.
Hi. Hey, and we've got Bespin in the chat. Good to see you, Bespin.
Bespin over there in Wales. Or should I say Jason over there in Wales? Because Jason is secretly Bespin Bulletin.
Yeah,
they're the same.
It's the only. I mean, it's really cool how I'm like on here and I'm typing at the same time.
Well, you know what, Jason?
The little Andy Kaufman act.
See, I saw Nick. I don't know if you guys know this, but after the Andor premiere, my girlfriend and I were walking outside, and we actually saw him stuffing his face with KFC.
Yeah.
Because he mentioned that in the Discord, and I was like, oh my God, that was Nick. So he's real, but I think he keeps the jig up with Jason, that Bespin himself is a separate entity. But it's just Jason and Nick's conspiracy theory.
Yeah. It's like Andy Kaufman and what was his name? Tony, or what was the guy's name? You know, like the big horror guy. Yeah, Nick does that, and we pass it back and forth. So good work, Nick.
Hey,
Bestman, you're just a puppet. You're just a puppet. Sorry.
Despite all your rage, you're still just a rat in a cage.
He's just an AI. Wait, I thought Meg was just an AI. There are all these rumors out there.
Well, Santa, I'm actually going to disprove it very soon. I don't know if you saw my my DM, but I'm going to be appearing in videos soon.
I did see your DM.
I think you should.
And you're going at well, let's just say that some folks will be able to see you live and in person for real.
I find it really funny when patrons reach out. I love my patrons, but a couple of them say, "We never seen any of your body." And I actually posted. Well, they don't say that. I'm paraphrasing because it'll make sense in a minute.
What is it? OnlyFans? Come on.
Well, I actually posted myself playing the Book of Boba Fett theme on guitar, and I guess not enough people saw that. But I have shown parts of my body from the neck down.
We've had hand reveals and things like that. Yeah.
Yes, hand reveals for the Rogue One visual guide and things like that.
That's right. It's just pretty soon the jig is up. Like, Celebration's coming, and
I like Jason's idea. At Celebration, I'm going to be the one in the Cara Dune shirt.
The Cara Dune hoodie.
Yeah.
And then nobody will know who you are. They'll be like, nope, that's not her.
Exactly. I can't be her.
That can't be her.
The anti-Meg.
Hey, Bad Batch. It's doing fairly well. I know that Jason hates it. But other than Jason, like people
I
are
hate
watching.
the Bad Batch. What is this? I just don't like it.
Same thing.
No, it's not all of you guys and your either ors. No, it's a sliding scale. I'm a bit lukewarm on it. Let's put it that way. It's the show's not that hot.
It's number one on Disney Plus by online engagement, whatever that means.
Mm-hmm.
And then
it means you're gonna get married to it. Apparently, Santa is so in love with it.
Mandalorian and Andor are right there in the hunt, which sort of makes sense. Mandalorian's coming up. We're getting season 3 in just a week from tonight, and
I'm not gonna watch
so
it.
That's coming.
I'm boycotting it.
Oh, Jason.
Yeah.
It's every time we do a Bad Batch stream, it's always this. It's always Star
tired of
Wars sucks.
This woe Mandalorian nonsense. Bring back Gina Carano, or I ain't watching it.
On a serious note, guys,
Stay out of trouble.
the hype for the Mandalorian season 3 is insane. Like the amount of Star Wars fans excited is more than I would ever have guessed after like Kenobi and Book of Boba. Like I think our channels are going to see huge growth during season 3.
Because look, Mandalorian 3, I think they're right. Mandalorian is a global phenomenon. It's not just a Disney Plus thing. It's a global phenomenon. It surpasses everything else. So
I like it because it tells the truth. It's got the deep state trying to steal baby's blood to give it power.
Jason,
my dentist was so hyped for Mando. I had a dental checkup this morning. He saw my Bo-Katan shirt and he was like, "Oh, I can't wait for the Mandalorian next week."
And he's floss more.
Damn.
Hey, here's something maybe shocking. Her dentist has a face reveal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
I saw her face. I saw it.
I saw half of her face. Sideways.
No, I'm not even kidding. It's just so like what's in the cartoon. I was just like, I'm not supposed to show your face.
Jason,
AI confirmed.
I was messing around with iPhoto because I had that open and I accidentally dragged a photo of my face onto the OBS. So Jason saw my full face, and I mean, I'm not kidding you guys with the avatar. Like, it's based on my actual face. So
right,
yeah.
Jason was surprised it actually looked like me.
Yeah, I was like, okay, you know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh my god, that cartoon was doing you some favors, girl. It wasn't like that. It was just like the same thing. So I was like, you know,
look, Sheev said the same thing. She's like, oh, you look like your avatar.
But if I was a lady and I was expected to like put makeup on every time I come on this show, I would never be on the show. You know what I mean? I'd just be like, I just get up like, whoa, I put the so like, okay, let's do it, man. And so, you know, I don't necessarily blame anybody for not wanting to deal with that crap.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Bad Batch, episode 9.
That's the thing with the face reveal. Like, I feel like people would be underwhelmed. Like, it's what you see just in cartoon form.
Right. Imagine a 25-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's about it.
It's a lady. It's a lady. What are you gonna do? You know.
Although Santa's comment to me once was, "My hair is curlier than you thought it would be."
It was. But you know, I only got like a half face sideways, so
I do straighten it, but it's like wavy otherwise.
Yeah. Your half face looked lovely.
Thank you. Bad Batch season 2.
I've tried several times, so this is your fault. Yeah, episode 9 we had the crossing, and they got the Havoc Marauder heisted, and there's some discussion going on. Is there a connection between the Marauder being heisted and Sid, or the Trandoshans that they interrupted on the whole Wookiee episode with our good friend? Why did I go blank on his name? The little guy. Yeah. All right, fine.
Sid?
No, the little Wookiee.
Gunji.
Gunji. Thank you. Yeah, Gunji. So no retribution from the Trandoshans in the Gunji episode. No undermining from Sid. In fact, I went out and posted. There was an interaction right before the Marauder was stolen. Right, they had arrived. They're standing at the safe and they were signing duties. You do this, you do that. Omega and
duties.
Yeah. Omega and Wrecker, you guys keep watch. And then Tech says, but we need Wrecker's skills. His talents are needed inside. And they said, well, we need more than one person doing it because Sid warned us that there are shenanigans going on out here. You got to keep an eye on it. So why would Sid say, hey, watch your stuff because there's people stealing stuff if she indeed was the one who's going to go steal their stuff?
I'd love assigned duty.
Yeah, I just don't see any kind of like sign or connection that Sid would be involved. I don't think there's any evidence for it in the narrative that's like too plausible to me.
Seriously?
Yeah, and
in the theft of the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really see anything that made me think so.
I thought it was quite obvious.
Really? Yeah, maybe I might just be dumb. That's fair.
no,
But
I was like, no, she didn't. She's not involved. She told them to watch out because there are people out there stealing stuff. Like, she wouldn't be involved in stealing
Wouldn't
the
warn
stuff
them.
and tell them. Right.
yeah,
So
unless
for
it's like
me,
some pathological thing, like I warned you, you didn't listen, so now I get to steal your stuff. I mean, that's possible, but that sounds a little above the psychological pay grade of the show to me.
yes.
Just a note to Saber Smith's comments. I never said I didn't like it. I was quite a big fan of the last episode. I liked
Yes.
Tech and Omega's dialogue. It was Jason who was saying how he threw his TV out.
I did. I actually kicked the
it's true.
TV.
It's true.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is.
I said, "Stormtroopers, no clones."
So, Retrieval, episode 10. Do you suppose Retrieval might be about getting the Havoc Marauder back? Or is it about Sid coming to get the Bad Batch? Because they said, hey, we're stranded here. You think you could come get us? So is it Retrieval, Sid's coming to get them? Or Retrieval, they're going to go get the Marauder?
Can I say, like, based on what Jason was saying on his show yesterday, that they don't do the obvious connections. Like, there's so much potential and they never make those connections. I wouldn't be surprised if you're right and there's nothing to do with Sid and she actually comes and rescues them.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to find something on that planet to help them get off it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll probably just end up being a straight continuation of the last episode. Is my guess. That's pretty much all I got. So I don't know what else to expect based off of the narrative. What are they still in that ghost town at the end?
Ghost Town?
They find the spaceport that's been
Hunter
abandoned.
says we've only got rations for like another few days, and Omega says we'll find a way out. We always do, and then it ends.
Yeah, they should just eat the kid. You know, they could probably last a couple more weeks.
Like, no.
Okay. Okay.
No.
just thinking, stay outside the box. You know.
So Fitz says Gonki could overpower him. Well, I'll tell you this: if Chopper was on the Marauder, he'd take care of business. Gonki, I'm not so sure has quite the temperament of our good friend Chopper, but you know, anything's possible. And then Jason hates stories. No, that's true.
Can we address Anthony's earlier comment about Skeleton Crew? I thought it was actually really interesting.
Yeah,
he kind of said, could there be set up in the Bad Batch for Skeleton Crew? I'm going to say very, very, very doubtful. But if they wanted to, there would be an obvious link with Crosshair on Mount Tantis.
Perhaps, yes. But let's think about just like a direct tie. I think more of I see where you're saying, Meg, and I'm making the connections there too. But that's more of a through line. You got to connect the dots to get there.
Well,
there's a big time gap. So Anthony, just so you know, that's what I'm saying. The Bad Batch is happening before the prequels.
About 20 years. There's like 20 years difference at least.
Yeah, it's before.
It's actually 29 years.
Yeah, 29. It's 5 years after.
Yeah.
5-6 years after Return of the Jedi. So yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. So the Bad Batch is not before the prequels. It's before Revenge of the Sith, right?
Yeah, it's after Revenge of the Sith. It's the day after. It's the Empire's formed now. Luke Skywalker, little baby.
Yeah, the first Galactic Empire, all of that. So we're just after, maybe a few months after Revenge of the Sith. So we're well before the original trilogy, just after the prequels. And then Skeleton Crew is after the original trilogy. So you've got a big gap there, as you said, right? More than a decade in between. And it's not like the Bad Batch would end where the Skeleton Crew starts, or even would introduce the characters in the Skeleton Crew, because the other part about the Skeleton Crew is the main cast are kids, right?
Won't the Bad Batch be dead?
I suppose my connection is more in Mount Tantis, because
Yeah.
do we know if there's any Mount Tantis connection in The Mandalorian or Ahsoka? Is that still something the Remnant use at that time?
We don't know.
Star Wars Fitz likes Adam Lambert and Queen. Can we ban him for that?
Actually, you know what? I kind of feel like they don't have Mount Tantis, because why would they be seeking cloning facilities on Navarro and sort of scattered across the galaxy if they still had Tantis? Unless Tantis
Bad Batch blows it up. The Bad Batch blows it up. I think the Bad Batch is going to
Bad Batch is dead. Someone put forward a really good theory that the Bad Batch are going to die in like one final battle, and we're never going to see them die. It's just implied.
Well, a couple of things. One, they're aging, and they're aging pretty quickly.
I thought you said they're Asian.
Aging. They're aged. They're old.
So to be clear, they're not Asian.
No.
Okay.
No, they're. Guys are leading me down a rabbit hole. They're old. They're getting
diversity
old quickly.
Oh, sorry.
So they're going to be they're going to be old, and they're going to die of natural causes, if nothing else. Before we get to
Wrecker, I got gout. It's not looking good.
Hey, gout's a real thing. I've had it. So shut up.
Sure. I mean, but I think they're gonna give him heroes' deaths, man. Come on, you don't let Wrecker die of a heart attack at 46.
Well,
and I have him go out like, oh, I'm getting shot everywhere, but I'm putting the box down here that you need. Oh, look at me. Like that's what they're.
You know what's gonna happen, Jason, with Wrecker? He's gonna go to the doctor, maybe even Dr. Pershing, and he's gonna be like, your cholesterol's really, really high. And we think it's due to the Mantel mix. And he's like, screw you, I'm not going to stop. And then he starts feeling chest pain. Omega rushes him to the hospital. And the doctor finishes the season by saying, looks like we're going to have to do an operation. And this is going to be Operation Plan 99.
There we go.
There you go. Full story. I brought this up for a reason. I don't think we're in the last season of the Bad Batch. In fact, I've heard that we're already working on a Bad Batch season 3. I don't have I don't have solid first-hand knowledge.
Yeah,
I've heard that there's a Bad Batch season 3 already in the works, and I believe it, and that that it's performing as well as it is on Disney Plus is a sign that it's deserving of the opportunity for a season 3 if that's what they want to do. So
I would have to think though, if it's already in any way in doing anything at all for a season 3, that's nothing to do with it. The success or the failure,
right? And that would already been the case.
It would be more of a commitment to doing the story for the longevity of the brand on the platform.
I agree. It's just, but they're not going to pull the plug with it doing well. Right? If it was doing poorly, nobody's watching. It's not getting any online engagement, then it could end prematurely. But that it's into a season 3, I think they already had that planned, and I hope that there's at least a plan for 4 seasons. I would love to see it get a full run, and be able to see Omega come up through age like we saw with Ahsoka and like we saw with Ezra. I think we're going to see the same thing with Omega, and she'll get older. So we've gone sideways so many times. Season 2, episode 10, we have Retrieval. There's a predictions game, and you see the folks down here on the Wall of Fame. They're the ones that did better as well or better than me in episode 9. I'm going to tell you guys one thing. You're going to have to be on your game to be on the Wall of Fame for episode 10. That's all I'm saying. You're going to have to be on your
already
game.
Knows everything about it.
No, I don't know everything about it, but I know some things. So you're going to have to be on your game. Episode 10.
Wait, Baymax made it on there? What?
Well, he's on the season leaderboard.
What?
He's tied with me. If he doesn't keep it up, he's going to fall off.
That guy?
But yeah,
Really?
I know.
Guy? Where am I?
Mafia is the one that's shocking because he hasn't missed a prediction yet. Is this the week that Nerd Mafia forgets to put his predictions in and he falls off the list? Every series, every season, he forgets a week. 1 week. Is this the week? That's what I want to know.
Well, now that you said that, he's going to be like, "Oh, thanks for reminding me, Santa."
And if you'd like to try to get on the Wall of Fame or the leaderboard, for those who are on the leaderboard, you already know the deal. But if you'd like to get on the Wall of Fame, you could do your predictions. There's a link in the description here, and you can fill in your answers. We've only got 9 in so far. See,
Santa, you need to put on the screen what Baymax just sent us. It's cursed.
Oh, I might or might not. Maybe later. Maybe I'll tell you what. You guys stay tuned for a post-credit scene. All right. So we'll end the show, and then I'll come back and show you this in a post-credit. So anybody that wants to see the image, make sure you're here at the end of the show. So you just have these yes/no questions. There's 19 yes/no questions, and you can put your predictions in. What do you think is going to happen this week? And then there's one question at the end where you get to put in your own fill in the blank, and it has to be like a real prediction for the show, not like I predict I'm going to sleep in late and not watch it because Jason hates it. You can't put that, but you could
That's
put.
Not fair. That's not fair.
You could put something like they get the Havoc Marauder back, right? You could do that, and that would count. That would totally count. So
Can I write the Havoc Marauder is still the nerdiest name I've ever heard for a spaceship, and it's still true in this episode? No, okay.
No.
I'm reporting there's the Havoc Marauder. Come on, man. We have Millennium Falcon, the Ghost.
I
Havoc
can't say that
Marauder.
word. I can't say the Han Solo ship, so I just call it the Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say the first bit of that word.
Millennium?
Yeah.
Aluminum.
The Aluminium Falcon.
The aluminium. You know what? The thing.
Everybody knows what the Falcon is. Sure.
Yeah.
So
It does sound cooler when you're like, the Falcon. You know?
yeah. All right.
Like
So
you're on first name basis with the ship, you know? It's cool.
Retrieval, we're pretty much in agreement. It's going to be a follow-up to the last episode.
Probably.
Them getting the Marauder back and then making their way back to home base.
Or it might be the episode where Cody goes and figures out everything, and Darth Sidious is there, and they have the bones of Count Dooku. And, you know, no, that's not going to happen.
So do you think that they'll make it back to Ord Mantell at the end and celebrate with some Mantell mix?
Back to? You say back to tank?
Back to return
Reese's
to
Pieces? Sorry, I'm
Reese's
messing with you. I gotta mess with you. Come on, Santa. You got it coming. All right. I will let it
In
rest.
Santa's defense, I've heard a lot of people say Reese's Pieces.
Well, and here's the thing.
What?
I asked my wife, I said, the peanut butter cups, the company that makes those, how do you say that? She said Reese's. I said, good. So then how do you say the candy that they have? She goes, what? Reese's Pieces? Like,
And
you
Santa's
changed
heart
it.
broke.
You changed how you pronounce Reese's when you
But
added.
you don't say it. They don't say it Reese's though. They say Reese's Pieces. They say Reese's.
I
Reese's
hear you.
on the commercials. No, but you
But
can
how do
watch
you
the
say-
ads. The ads are like where they
if
literally
if
say
you
what
don't
the
say it
product
with
is.
if you don't say it with the candy, you just say the company.
Yeah, it's
right?
Reese's.
Yeah,
It's
right.
Reese's.
Reese's.
It's not Reese's.
Well, my wife and I both call it
Yeah.
Reese's.
Yeah, so
And I'm
you
the
got
only-
her back. You got her back. No, I'm gonna give it to you. You got her. You got her. You're on my side now, and you're now saying, wife, you're wrong. I
No.
like that. That's called the switch.
She's like, I don't say PCs if that's
You're-
what you're trying to say. I'm like,
you're
no.
a double agent. You're a double
Anyway.
agent.
I admire people who pronounce things wrong deliberately.
Oh sure. Yeah. If it's for trolling purposes, it's funny.
Yeah, there you go. Dawn says that phone home. There you go.
I don't know if you
I
guys
say-
know. There's a celebrity chef in the UK called Nigella, and she pronounces microwave and she uses it in everything, and it's become a meme. But you kind of look out for it now because that's how she pronounces it.
Yeah.
Well, we intentionally mispronounce Chipotle.
Chipotle. Yeah. Chipotle.
I used to call it chipotle.
Would you get a quesadilla?
A
Chipotle?
quesadilla.
Quesadilla. Right. And we made fun of, for the longest time, we'd call them swords. You know? just being idiots. That's fine. All right. So anything else on the Bad Batch episode 10 tonight?
It just keeps getting hotter and hotter, better and better. Where will it go next?
My question is, are they going to celebrate with Mantel Mix in by the end of the episode, or is that going to happen off screen?
I hope it's off screen.
Yeah, Meg, are they going to get the... Wait, well, just guess. It's fine.
I'm going to say no. Actually, they will. I think they're going to go back to Old Mantel. So I'm going to say yes.
I like that. I like it. Okay, look, there's a couple of really, really big stories that have landed over the last day or so. And our friend Jason is the source of one of them.
Sid is pregnant in the next episode of The Bad Batch. I'm here to break that right now. Okay, it was a pregnancy scare. There's a twist at the end. She's not really pregnant. Everything's going to go right back to normal at the end of the episode. Don't
So who
worry.
banged her?
Wrecker.
Was it bung? Is it bung or banged? What is the past tense of bang?
It's bunged. She was bunged by Wrecker.
You guys are
director.
terrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible. But there you go. Bespin said Wrecker is the father.
Wrecker is the father. Oh man, he doesn't. He's like crying and stuff.
Don't do it. Just
Do you know what we need? We need Bad Batch
No.
Jerry Springer.
yes.
Wrecker, you are not the father. Jerry.
Maury Palpatine is what we need.
RF Gaming echoes the daddy. That's why he left. There is a precedent in Star Wars for absent fatherhood. So there is that. There is that. Let's do the shorter of the two stories first.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all reckon Santa's street. That's true. Ahsoka. So Rosario Dawson was on the Today Show, and she said, I think it's coming out sometime in the fall. Our friend Bespin here has some insight.
Bespin should get beat up for that picture, by the way.
For this picture?
If he goes to Celebration, just give him a wedgie for it. Just pull up.
Not the right background.
What's wrong with it?
I mean, does Ahsoka
No,
visit
I'm just
Toronto?
laughing. He's like, it's fall.
Toronto.
Yeah.
It's a great picture. You get Ahsoka.
Ahsoka's
fall, leaves.
Ottoman
Get it?
Rhode Island.
It says he's saying that the Book of Boba Fett release. It says, let's go back. Mandalorian's global phenomenon, right? So on and so forth. As the second season rolled out, the series introduced fan favorite, including Boba Fett and Ahsoka. Right? The Book of Boba Fett released first season, tail end of 2021. Ahsoka in post production. Is Ahsoka still in post production, or are they? It's in the can and they're just waiting for the release date.
No, I doubt it's done, but I don't think anybody knows.
All right.
I mean, it might be visual effects being done on it still, but
Okay.
like we were talking about with those shows, so much happens before, so it would really depend on what's in it. Is there a big visual effect? Excuse me, sequence at the end or what? Like,
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So it says Lucasfilm and Disney are hoping to continue the success of Mandoverse series. Remain tight-lipped on when they can expect to see Ahsoka. It's been confirmed publicly various times that the series would debut this year, along with third season Mandalorian, which is a week from tonight, and the Skeleton Crew, which is supposed to be right at the end of the year. Earlier this year, there was a brief trailer on the projects, so on and so forth. Ahsoka Tano herself, Rosario Dawson, revealed to the Today Show, will probably come out in the fall. Well, there's some other supporting evidence that may actually kind of back that up, and it's that
Legos, as they're called these days.
Yes,
Legos.
The leg.
Legos.
Punk.
Go ahead. You got it. You got it. Lego.
Such a punk.
What? Well,
I released, and so these 2 Lego sets are coming out.
Jason, it's pronounced Lao.
Wow.
These are
Go
my
ahead.
friends, you guys.
The
No,
Danish pronunciation.
with those coming out in September, it says usually the sets for the live action series release months later, as is the case for Mandalorian, so on and so forth. It appears not to be the case for Ahsoka, so I wonder if the sets are releasing during the same month as the series or slightly earlier. So that's I think the Lego bit there is some supporting evidence for a fall release.
And sometimes the TV show Lego sets don't tell you anything, and they could come out pretty much at any point. Like the Mandalorian Lego sets, it told us there was an ATST at one point, and like I already had the pictures of it from that thing, so that it wasn't like big news. But it was like, okay, this is what it looks like for sure, cool. But it didn't tell us anything. There was like no plot stuff that could be like gleaned from it. You know, there wasn't anything like huge. So I could see them potentially releasing it earlier if they wanted to, but yeah. What do you think though? Do you think it's a fall? Do you think it'll come out in the fall, or do you think it'll come out in the summertime? Because summer, there was a time when we were thinking July.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah. On the calendar, as people just typically think of it, right? Because fall doesn't, like, when's the first day of fall? Like, what's the first day of fall?
September 57th.
Bestman says, tell Santa that piece of crap to read the last paragraph, or I will fight him and take him down. No, he actually
That's probably true.
No, he doesn't say that. He just actually says, you should probably read the last paragraph, though.
Okay, I will. So it says September 22nd is the first day of fall. So does that mean we have to wait until at least September 22nd? Or might we see it technically in summer, like September 15th?
It's all subjective, Santa. See, I start celebrating Christmas at the end of August because that's when like the first Christmas ads come out. So I'm like, it's Christmas. So I get out the Christmas playlists. I dress up like an elf all bloody week or month.
That's great.
Months.
Look, the Christmas in July is a thing. So, you know, you can do Christmas in July even. But and so I'm just saying.
I'm seeing a big Christmas agenda at play here right now. That's what I see going on. I'm not buying it.
What I'm saying, Jason, is that fall could start next week.
Okay.
I'm
going to say when it comes down to like a Hollywood calendar, September is fall.
I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm going to go. September sounds good, and that's late summer. I am going to by technicality say late summer. So I am putting a stake in the sand saying before September 22nd.
But didn't Mando? Am I misremembering? Did Mando start in October in the past?
Yeah, October 30th was season 2.
Yeah, so I would probably expect it to be something close to whatever that was. Would probably be the best guess.
Okay,
like
so
that
is Skeleton Crew pushed back to 2024 then?
Nobody knows. But if I had to bet based off of the article I wrote this week, I would say that doesn't seem super likely to me that it makes that release date. But
so 2 things. One, September 22nd is a Friday. So September 20th would be a Wednesday. Late summer. I'm just saying. Late summer. Otherwise, it'll probably be September 27th or after, and I think it'll be before that. So
do we have it confirmed that Ahsoka is 8 episodes, in fact? I can't remember now. We do? Okay.
I don't remember where, but I think it's 8.
Okay.
Was it Bespin? Someone said it was 8 episodes.
Okay. Yeah, so I feel like we knew that, but I don't remember if it had legs or not. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's the same as all of the Filoni Favreau things that we've had so far. But But that's
in
also
addition,
notable with where Skeleton Crew could fall. If it was only 6 weeks, that would give enough room to run right into it if they wanted to do something like that. But I doubt it. I think
so. Bespin's saying he's heard that Marvel Studios has a couple of things coming out. Secret Invasion, which is releasing in May, and Loki season 2, which would be much later in the summer. I'm guessing. I'm sure you can guess which month. I don't know. What's that mean? Much later.
Yeah. What do you mean, Bespin? What do you mean? Tell us. Tell us now.
Look, he assumes way too much that I can guess. I don't know. So it comes no surprise Ahsoka would debut after both series in the fall. And he still believes that Skeleton Crew's coming year's end.
August, he says.
Yeah, so he's saying that we're going to get Secret Invasion May, Loki in August. And then,
is Loki 6 episodes? 8? How many episodes is Loki? That's the thing I don't know. I don't follow that side close enough. So, if they do no overlap, that would give us late September probably. But
and I totally do not agree with Bespin on this. I just don't.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to make it.
Loki is 6 episodes. Okay, so Loki's 6 episodes. So therefore, depending on which week it starts, really,
I'm going on.
Not a lot of room for Skeleton Crew here. I don't know how Skeleton Crew makes this.
No, me neither. Me neither. And so I'm
just
saying.
If you think so, Bespin, can you explain to my dummy brains how that would work if it's not too much trouble? Yeah.
It's informed. So he's saying he's smarter than us. Yeah. So there you go. I don't know. I'm just saying I'm still putting the stake in the sand as before September 22nd, Ahsoka's premiere. And we also don't know. So there's all kinds of questions about that. And this ties us into Mandalorian season 3 and then season 4 in your story, Jason. Will Mandalorian season 3 open with a longer episode or a double episode? Is it a single episode? And will it be under 50 minutes?
Was there a runtime that was legit that came out somewhere from that Meg, or was that just some rando thing?
It was just some rando. Those new account people on Reddit.
Okay.
No one knows. It's probably 40, 45 minutes.
Yeah. If they get the first one right, then we'll know. Then whatever they say after that, they can sit more seriously. But until then, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, those episode listings are almost certainly fake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What debunked it for us?
The fact that a couple of those titles are from the soundtrack of the Book of Boba Fett.
Okay.
I double checked this morning because one of them rang a bell.
Mm-hmm.
And it just sounds like guesswork based on what we know from what to expect in season 3.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
So it was more of a tone exercise for a faker.
Exactly.
Makes sense. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So, Jason, you had a really big story yesterday, and there's a lot to it. And, the internet has a short attention span, and they're dumb. So I'm guaranteed that this story is going to get pieced apart incorrectly. So
that's already happened. People scan, they read the bullet point of what they want to hear, and then they run. Guess what? And then they take it from there. Or some jackass goes on Reddit and abbreviates it with notes that clearly they're not a good student. That's what I'll say about that. So this could go a lot of different ways, though, is the point.
To me, there's sort of 3 big elements to this. The first being that there's a potential writer's strike coming up in May.
It feels like it's an eventual, like it's going to happen. Like it would be way crazier if it didn't happen than if it did at this point.
Because of a writer's strike, studios. This isn't specific to Lucasfilm or Disney.
This is the whole industry. This is all of Hollywood. This is, if you're in the Directors Guild of America or the Writers Guild of America, and you do work with them and you use that talent, then you are in this system. And the big deal about it is people go, well, don't they just write the show and then go film it? So if it's written, it's fine, right? Well, if a line is missing or a line is weak or there's a plot error that shows up that they just didn't catch when they were reading the scripts, or something doesn't play right, an actor can't say a line correctly, they have a real big problem with that, because they can't go rewrite. There's always an on-set writer, like for like Rogue One, for instance, and that's a different production obviously than the Mando shows, but and on that one they had an on-set writer who was literally like actually writing while they were revising the whole entire time. Sometimes it was Christopher McQuarrie, a really good writer who does like the Mission Impossible stuff, like works with Tom Cruise a lot and stuff. What was his name? I always want to call this guy Scott F. Fitzgerald, but that's not who it is, obviously. It's like, but there's this other writer, Scott Z. Burns was the other one on Rogue One. And so it's like you have these, you need these people and the ability to do this. And there were new rules that I couldn't find. I couldn't get access to them. I don't know where they're at on the website. So I was trying to find it. But back in 07, 08, there was a writer's strike in The Office. You know, everybody loves The Office. Well, the writers are performers on The Office. During the writer's strike, they were technically scabbing by pretending we're just doing improv, but it was the writers. So what? You know, so new rules, I think, popped up because of that too. So this idea, like the stuff around improv and stuff, is a little bit more sketchy.
We'll just let them make it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
there's some rules around that.
Well, not when you're right. Yeah, it's
just to address it. Say, okay, well, fine. So the A in the WGA is for America. We'll just send it over to Meg's backyard where she hangs out.
That's not how it works, I don't think.
We'll get them to do it over there. That's how we'll do it. Yeah,
still an American production. And but what they could do, and like I was talking to writers who are in the guilds and stuff like that on like Reddit and stuff, and we were going back and forth. And it's like we're trying to figure this out. Like one thing that could happen, but like for instance, Acolyte will be done. I believe Acolyte will have wrapped by then.
Wait, slow down on that.
And then we're
Acolyte.
Acolyte.
There are rumors out there we should address. There are rumors that say Acolyte's not going to get done, that it doesn't have a budget, and it's not in production.
Oh, that's just because they are idiots who make shit up. But at the end of the day, that's all. That's complete crap. And so Acolyte's going to be finished. We're almost in the back end of Acolyte right now. So that's such a stupid rumor to make up now. You're late.
And once it is done,
you're later than Fat Bosk in the next episode of Bad Batch.
So let's be clear about this too. Once it's done filming, they could do the post-production, everything else during the strike.
Oh yeah. That's completely fine. So what's happening right now is Disney braced for the strike. I personally, I don't have any sources on this specifically, but I believe that Skeleton Crew went into production with an exhausted crew when no one was up for it. Everybody deserved a break. And it was just like way too much. I think because they wanted to get an extra show in the can before this strike happened, because nothing will be filming. As far as I know, there won't be anything significant filming between once we hit May all the way up until Mando. This is completely new, nothing new. Andor will be filming Andor 2, and that's where I'm like, how is that going to work?
So
like there's always a chance Tony Gilroy does like some trickery and breaks the rules.
Let's tie this into the other two parts of your story. Mm-hmm. So we've got a big writer's strike coming in May. Sometime in May is when that should happen.
May 1st is when the contract is up for that they have with the studios.
Okay, so they may get extension for a week or two as they start negotiations before it actually, like they'll declare on May 1st or whatever, we're going to strike, and then there's like a
I would think so.
Period, and then it starts, right? Something like that. So
it sounds like they're. I mean, I don't really, this part I don't actually know, but it sounds like May 1st is when it's on, because everybody knows it's coming. There's no like, oh, are we or aren't we kind of like gonna move forward with this? Like everybody knows, like the Directors Guild usually goes first in the negotiations. They're going second this time, understanding that whatever the Writers Guild gets, they're going to get too. So the studios have a lot to lose, and they have a lot to lose on the backdrop of like Netflix and HBO and all of those streaming services going like, hey guys, we're going to turn this around and become more profitable. Don't worry. We're making better decisions now and stuff like that. So that complicates that issue. So the only way you could really imagine this turning around is if they were to go, hey, how about, we're trying to make this goal. Can you guys wait? But the answer to the writers, to journeyman writers that are having to like live like with other writers to make ends meet, is no. And they like HBO. I don't know if this number is correct, but I keep hearing that HBO pulled $2 billion in profits to writers out of that economy in the big picture.
Ooh.
And that's a lot of money. So I'm like, is that really accurate? But that's what I heard. So I'm not living and dying by that. So don't quote me on that. But that's what I heard. So it's a lot of money that's been taken out of Hollywood.
Yeah. And so Astromech Jeremy is confirming what I said. Like there is a grace period. And so unless that backdates into April, then it'll push into May. Because it's May 1st, I would still say May is likely. Like it may be May 13th or 17th or 22nd, whatever, when the strike actually starts. But I would also guess between May 1st and that date that there's going to be, work stoppages.
And like for Star Wars fans, this is a weird thing because you have people like Jon Favreau who do a lot of the writing and are also a showrunner who's probably making huge money. And that's one of the problems in the industry is that showrunners are getting like sometimes 9-figure salaries in the big picture. Like it's insane. And then they're paying the writers, like the actual like day-to-day writers who do like the punch-ups like pittance, and then they're giving them endless revisions.
Well, it's the same for the other big showrunners. The movie that's been on again, off again.
The movie
Ben Hur logo.
Taika Waititi?
Taika Waititi, right? He's writing. So writer strike doesn't necessarily mean Taika quits writing.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Does it?
Oh yeah. This story has more ramifications for the films than the TV shows. It appears Favreau is probably more in touch with Hollywood being where he's at and what's going on with the climate is, what it feels like and stuff like that. So they prepared for that. That's what I'm saying. That's why they had it together. But if you're writing Star Wars right now and you want to film a movie in June, how are you going to do your final draft of your script if in the midnight hour
while you're on set
or during the strike on set? Yeah, you can't. So I'm just guessing here, but if the strike goes hard and goes serious, I could see it being like they delay the production by a few months, then they start building a little bit slower, and they start getting everything ready for it, but they're like, okay, and then once again, people do break the rules and act like they're not breaking the rules. So there's always a chance, and there's always a chance that if they do just scab with a European writer who is not in the guild, but I don't know what ramifications that would have for Disney if they did that. I'm not sure. Like George Lucas,
not only
George
Disney,
Lucas did everything outside of the guilds. His whole time, he quit the guild back in the day because Irvin Kershner had the opening crawl to Empire Strikes Back, and they didn't ask permission, and they fined Kershner $1 million. Lucas paid it, and left the guild and never returned it, and swore off the guilds for the most part.
Yeah. There's a whole thing about that opening crawl, and not opening with credits, but opening with the crawl, and that's kind of changed. That's another big thing that changed movies forever. And now that's more the case than the exception when you put the credits at the end. It's kind of unusual when you go to a movie and it kind of opens and then they are running credits at the beginning. That's weird.
Yeah.
But it used to be that was the normal. So kind of wrap up the whole deal here is that these studios, again, not just Disney, Lucasfilm, Marvel, whatever, all of them, Warner Brothers, everybody, Netflix is having to try to get as much either in filmed so that they're in post production, or get all the scripts kind of piled up and try to plow through some of them during the strike.
If you have Batman and you have, that kind of stuff, if you have superheroes and Star Wars stuff, then you're in a weird position because you have IPs that you can't go buy other places. Netflix and the like are just buying up stuff from Korea and Squid Game style stuff and everything like that. They're just like, fine, we'll just weather it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So there's two stories that kind of come into this. Mando 4, which I think is the first thing to bring up. Mando 4 is currently scheduled, according to your story, is October.
Mm-hmm. Now, Favreau scooped me with this "I finished writing it already" thing. I was like, this is big news because I got, I know what they've already started, and so that got a part of that.
If it's supposed to start filming in October, some work will start before that, but that's what filming starts in October. So we'll see like August, September.
Every single time
hammering nails.
People start saying they're filming, and every single time it's really in October when it starts. But because they built the set, they see one guy hammering. Oh, they're filming. No, they're building.
And not only that, but we've also seen stories where like one actor finishes filming and they come out and say, "Hey, I'm all done. Filming's all done." And they're like, filming's wrapped.
That just happened like a few weeks ago. Who was that? It was Skeleton Crew. It was Skeleton Crew.
Yeah, and not necessarily the case. It can continue on for a while because just because they're done doesn't mean everybody's done.
Yeah,
and there are reshoots and stuff involving different people. So blah blah blah. So we know Mando 4 is supposed to start in October.
Mm-hmm.
But
they're doing all kinds of builds right now. All the stuff is being happening. Made. Yeah, and then there's this other.
There's something else going on too.
There's this other thing going concurrently that's separate, and that's where Boba Fett comes in. That's where Boba Fett comes in.
In this other thing, there's some Boba Fett stuff, like we've seen in Slave One, for example. Right? There's some Boba Fett stuff in it. The big question here is the Boba Fett stuff part of Mando 4 or something different? Are they using a different production name to kind of double up on work to try to fast track two things? One project under two highways at the same time.
My pet theory, and this is a theory, this isn't a scoop, this is just a theory, is that why that's happening is maybe they're going to do a Boba Fett post-credit scene that's going to tease the next book of Boba Fett, and maybe that's being done about now for the end of Mando season 3. I think that's like the other alternative that makes the most sense. That's sort of like why they're doing that now, or they're filming Book of Boba Fett and Mando at the same time, just like Skeleton Crew and Ahsoka. That's kind of like that's where my head's at with it.
So you have three of them. One is they're doing a post credit for Mando 3.
Mm-hmm.
2, they've got Boba 2, and it's going to start. 3 is we're running two highways at the same time to the same location, right?
Yep.
So we'll end up all Mando 4. Both.
And a fourth theory that I didn't put in the article is, what if Ghost Track isn't an actual production, but Ghost Track is literally just keeping modelers and prop makers and stuff like that on the payroll to make stuff for these shows while they're in that dead part of the year. Like that's just a theory though. I don't know what it is, but it's there's a lot of like what ifs in this, and the only thing that I know for sure is Boba Fett is definitely coming back though. So that's, if you're a Boba Fett fan, that's really good news.
Yeah, we just don't know the full context of it yet.
Yeah,
it could very well be Boba Fett season 2. It might be Mando 4. It might be a post credit for 3, which again, a post credit for 3
would mean Boba 2,
a Boba 2 later, right?
Yeah.
So it's sort of the same thing, but
or another possibility is that Avengers everything comes into a meetup thing is happening at that point, with baby Boba being a main player in it, sort of our Iron Man in it, and that's why he's so prominent in that narrative. But we keep talking about in Mando 3, I haven't ever had any smoking gun. He's in it at all. I've never had a moment where I'm like, I know he's in it. Like, I've not had that moment. So
I wouldn't be surprised if he's not in it.
Yeah. So
I'm kind of not expecting Boba Fett at this stage, but I don't think he needs to be in it.
But it's going to make everybody ask, where's Boba Fett? Every single week, where's Boba Fett at? And then by the time we get down to the 8th episode, that's where the post-credit scene makes sense as an announcement for the Boba Fett series. So
right.
And you kind of see that happening, but that's just a theory for the record. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, and then you get the content creator rage on, they promised us Boba Fett, and they never did.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they switched us. No.
You promised.
Right. Okay.
Daddy.
Did we leave any of the big points out of your article, Jason?
I don't think so. I think that's like the gist of it.
So make sure you guys, look, I've got the link to Making Star Wars in the description. Make sure you're following Jason on YouTube as well as his website. And Bespin, our friend Bespin, who's been in the chat, he did a story on this as well, and he added his 2 cents to it. So we've got Bespin's take on Jason's news and Jason's. So it's good reading on both cases. And,
you know what's really silly though? Is all of the people, like all of those accounts, low effort Twitter accounts that kind of post out Star Wars news, they never credit Jason on Jason's scoops. They'll always think like the direct's coverage or other people. They'll never actually link it back to Jason.
They sure taught me a lesson. Enjoy paying $8 to Twitter to be seen, losers.
Let me see. Whatever. What else did I have on the agenda for today? I want to make sure we got everything. That's all of it. We got all of it. There is, again, just a reminder for everybody, Patreon. Come follow us on Patreon. That'd be good. And we can have a conversation there, and you can get some other content. You can ask questions. We can do all the things in Patreon. It's a huge help to the channel. So there you go. It's Jason's news and Bespin's 2 cents.
Yeah.
At least Bespin got some pennies out of it. I mean, Jason got nothing.
I'm gonna start the Beskar bulletin and take him down. That's my new plan. Take him down with the Beskar bulletin. What do you think?
Beskar bulletin.
What do you think?
Oh my goodness!
Try that URL, Bespin.
Santa said Booger Bespin's Andor scene.
Oh yeah. But no, Bespin. I mean, he has that whole scene from Andor. Did you want to look at that?
Yeah. Let me go pull that back up. Bespin.
Yeah.
Bespin.
He's all. I own some very interesting URLs. Like what? Like what?
Okay, there we go.
Okay,
here we go. We'll bring this back. Exclusive details on Star Wars Andor Season 2 scene filmed at the Barbican Estate in London. So let's see. What's he got? What is it? He just wanted an excuse to put Bix on the... Let's see.
I agree with it.
Samo's Deli Grocery. We saw that last week. Some films. Over the weekend, I learned details on a scene being shot outside the store the production. Outside of, I'm guessing the store. I don't know. The production construction. And I believe that the director of this scene is seemingly an assistant director. Various people who got close to the set saw scenes being directed. Pictures of directors Ariel Kleinman, Dennis Metz, Alonso, big last name.
Ruiz Palacios.
Yeah, Meg, go for it. You like saying difficult to pronounce words. Give us your take on this name.
Meg's dropping some kids off at the pool right now, if you know what I mean. That's my guess.
I think my microphone was muted.
It was.
It was.
It's Ruiz Palacios.
There you
Ruiz Palacios.
Brilliant.
But you know what?
How
can we sit here talking about Andor when the main character of The Mandalorian was cancelled?
Meg.
What The Wool Mandalorian?
I'm boycotting Mando season 3, and then I'm actually going to watch it, but I'm going to tell the internet I'm boycotting it.
Guys
make
are trying
videos.
to get me in trouble again.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. So, are there pictures in this story, or is it just words?
Well, he literally breaks the scene down if you would read it.
I was thinking, give me pictures that'd be easier.
What do you want him to do? Film the whole show? Want him to act it out for you? Come on.
Yes. Hire actors. I want a recreation. Come on. Early weeks of the series.
What is in the bag? Show me what's in the bag. Oh, you put it in the bag? Okay. Let's go, baby.
Onto the scene itself. It begins with Cassian, who's got his hood up to keep a low profile, and Bix, who's carrying two gray bags, walking towards Samo's deli. Cassian and Bix are deep in a tense conversation before Cassian suddenly stops and grabs Bix by the arm, stopping her in her tracks.
Did you forget the grocery list?
How many times have I told you to pick that list up before we left home? Now we got to go all the way back.
What's that Bad Batch?
Do
What's
you guys remember Pisos from
Pisos?
Yeah.
And what is the trail mix from Ord Mantell mix, whatever it's called?
Yeah, Mantell mix.
Yeah.
Nelson Mandela mix.
Some Howie Mandel mix.
It says Cassian, seemingly paranoid and untrusting, begins to rifle through the bags she's carrying. Bix seems surprised and visibly upset. After a short pause, Cassian, assumably being satisfied with his search, the two link arms and carry on walking towards the location and enter Samo's store.
When he writes
looking for a tracker or something like that.
I get like a real like Wizard of Oz, like here we go.
Yeah, going across the that's exactly. I was like, we're off to see the wizard. Due to Cassian's apparent paranoia, I assume he and Bix are possibly meeting a contact, perhaps Samo himself. Given the history between Andor and Colleen, you'd assume he has trust in Bix, and why Cassian was searching was maybe make sure something they needed to take, perhaps credits was there, or that there wasn't a tracking device in there.
Right? Or maybe you can't trust women. You ever think about that, Star Wars Santa?
So there you go. All right.
Sorry.
Well, Jason, you know what I think about that?
No, what?
I probably shouldn't say. I don't want to ruin Santa's stream.
Okay.
The stuff we were talking about in the Discord earlier.
Yes, I know.
It's why they kept calling me the B word in their videos, trying to cancel me.
Yeah.
I'll show this. We'll talk about that a little bit in the
fandom, as Jason calls it.
Yes.
We really are the stupidest fandom. Like Star Trek had all the smart fans, whereas we end up with the one IQ people.
So we're going to tie the show all the way back together, all the way back to the beginning with the Bad Batch. Mike Porter gave us a Bad Batch dad joke today.
Oh, did he?
He did.
He really?
He really did. It's quite good. It says, what do they call that Bad Batch clone that destroys a house? I have Mike Porter answer, and I have Meg's Discord answer. There's two different answers to this, right? The answer, a home wrecker. Well, you know who the home wrecker is in Meg's Discord, don't you?
Who?
Meg knows who it is. Palpa memes. Yeah. Right.
Oh yeah. He was willing to break up Ray's marriage.
Yeah, he was like Daisy Ridley. She's married. Oh, too bad.
I'll do what you gotta do, I guess, man.
He was going the full home wrecker route there. Well, we were giving him a hard time. So yeah, thank you, Mike Porter. another good dad joke. Hey, we have a post-credit scene. So we'll log off. You guys stay here, and we'll log back in. It'll be no, we don't. No, that's stupid. Here we go. So we've been talking. There's another video going around, and this video is super special. This video, and I don't know why, Jason, you get the the good treatment in this video. Like how is this in this thumbnail? How's this work? Wait, I've got the yeah. So here we go. Look, Jason gets Jedi.
We
robes.
are stoned, you guys. Like that is some Qui-Ganja. I'm on.
Yeah.
The irony is they made us look really, really badass.
They look pretty cool.
This is in a new video that came out.
Yeah,
just
don't promote
recently.
the garbage.
Don't
but
promote
yeah,
the
not.
dumbass.
but
No,
yeah.
not doing that. Not doing that. I was just awful proud that I made the thumbnail with red eyes. That's pretty cool.
You do look
that's the
pretty
only
cool.
time-
You know what? I kind of think like maybe you ride a motorcycle and like I ride in your sidecar. You know what I mean?
with your Jedi robes.
And then Meg has like maybe like a hang glider. Like Meg takes to the air, and we take to the land and the sea.
It's so ridiculous. I'm like, okay, this is great. I made somebody else's thumbnail, and it's the first time I've had the red Sith eyes in somebody else's thumbnail that wasn't my own. You know, so that's great. It's great. Great promotion. And you know, Meg mentioned this the other day. Every time, there is this big kerfuffle, right? Big kerfuffle, and after the kerfuffle, Meg's subs went up. Mine too. Mine have been up.
Yeah.
And,
I benefited financially very well from the cancellation. I got a lot of people telling me that they're glad I expressed my view because they agree with me. And then I think I got like 18 patrons from it. So try again. Better luck next time.
Please. No. You know, do it again. Again,
It was so boring. It cured my insomnia. Thanks, guys.
No, it's great. It's just that my subs are up too. My subs are up because they know that, you know, I disagree with you guys, but we're still friends. And they're like, oh, here,
But you're
I'm
a
going
good
to sub
person,
this.
Santa. It's not about politics. It's not about what side you're on. It's about if you're one of these people who has their views and can respect someone, or if you're someone who has views and just shouts at people, and then you have slogans to rile up your audience to get them, you know, upset about things.
Yeah, exactly. And look, we try to make the show today all about Star Wars and not about this nonsense. So we put it at the very end, and I'm just so proud of getting onto another thumbnail. It's the best thing ever. We've been watching some series on streaming, and this last one was Murders That in My Building. Have you seen that with Martin Short and Steve Martin and the young Selena Gomez?
Wait, it's not called Murders in My Building, though.
Yeah, it is.
Is it really? I thought I had a different. Okay.
Yeah. Murders in My Building, and in there, the guy gets made fun of on the Jimmy Fallon show, and he's like, "This is the best thing ever." Like Jimmy Fallon said my name, and of course, then his only murders in my building. Yeah.
Only Murders in My Building. Okay.
2 blocks from Jeremy, and that's a cool building, by the way. But
Pedro Pascal loves Ewoks. I don't know if you saw that one on
I
Seth
did.
Meyers. He defended Ewoks. I thought that was nice.
It's good. It's good. I like that building. I like that show. We're almost done with season 1. We're getting ready to start. We got 2 more episodes, and then we'll get into season 2. So it's good. It's a good show.
I'm almost caught up on Yellowstone. I like the spinoffs a lot better, though. A lot better than the actual main show. But it's good.
Yeah. Well, I don't like bad guys being featured and celebrated for being bad. So
yeah, I don't know if I would say. I don't know if I.
Well, they
agree
murder
that
people.
They're celebrated. Yeah, no, I'm not saying. I don't know if they're celebrated. Like I don't like anybody on the show. I actually hate them all. They're just interesting.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? That's kind of where, like Walter White. You're not supposed to watch Breaking Bad and identify with him.
Yeah,
you know.
It's actually relevant to the Andor show because I had family members who were like, "I don't like Cassian. He's a dick because he kills people."
Right.
Yeah.
Is he a hero? Maybe.
I mean, at the last minute, but yeah, not until the end, I think. But sorry.
Well, I think that covers it. I think we're good. I can get back to work and and do all those things. We got the Bad Batch tonight. Jason's going to sleep through it and then grumble about it tomorrow.
I hope not. I hope it's good.
Breakdown. So, yeah, well, I think that since it's a continuation of last week's episode, you're going to hate it. Saying.
I don't know. The Havoc Marauder. What happened to it? Will we ever find out?
We'll see.
Find out next week on the
And yes, make sure you do your prediction sheet. Thank you all. Astromech Jeremy, thank you. And you guys, we'll talk to you again tomorrow during the watch party in the morning. Watch for Meg's breakdown video tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then we'll be back on Friday to break down some other news. So until then, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Jason, Meg, thank you as always.
Thank you, Santa.
Have a good day.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody. Till next time. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. And may the force be with you always.